Hi, this is going to be a video over Chapter 16, Other Punctuation, and we're going to talk about most of the other punctuations that you can use in writing. Okay, we're going to talk about 10 of forms of punctuation, and here's the list of them. Okay, first of all, we're going to talk about using periods correctly to punctuate statements, commands, indirect questions, polite requests, abbreviations, initials, and numerals. And then we're going to talk about question marks and exclamation points. Okay, so the uses for a period is to punctuate statements, of course, commands, indirect questions, and we use periods at the end of statements, commands, and indirect questions. A statement is we're simply saying something or stating something. Business usually improves in the fall. A command, usually the subject is the implied you. So place an order for printer paper now. Woo. So we're actually saying you place an order for printer paper now. Use a period to end those kinds of sentences. And then indirect questions. And this is not, when we're talking about a question, we're not really questioning somebody. She just asked whether we ship COD, but she's not asking a question of somebody. So we use a period at the end of that. Polite requests, we use a period, not a question mark, to punctuate a polite request. It's usually a command, ask the reader to perform a specific action, and it's usually answered by an action rather than a yes or no. For instance, would you please send me your latest catalog? You're not asking them a question, you're telling them to please do it. So use a period. If you feel uncomfortable using a period in polite requests, then rephrase your statement. Please send me your latest catalog. That we could make it a command in this instance. Okay, we use it to punctuate abbreviations. For lowercase abbreviations, you use periods after most abbreviations beginning with lowercase letters. Okay, so here's some examples: AM, PM, IE, and EG. And one of the reasons you want to use periods, especially on this one, is if you don't, you would have the word am. So that using the period has a reason for, there is a reason for using it there. Okay, upper and lowercase, we use periods for most abbreviations containing capital and lowercase letters. Doctor, NO for number, MR for Mr., and FRI for Friday. So it's a mixture of upper and lowercase. The exceptions, PhD and EDD, these are abbreviations for degrees, and you don't use a period at the end of those. Okay, if it's all capital letter abbreviation, you use no periods or internal spaces. And so here's our list. Includes abbreviations for many businesses, nonprofit organizations, educational institutions. If we were saying Butler Community College, we say BCC. We just put those three letters together with no periods between them. Government agencies like the IRS, you don't put periods there. Radio and television stations, professional organizations, sports associations, job titles, professional designations. Stock symbols, airport codes, and business and technology terms. Pretty long list there. But if they're all capitals, abbreviations, we don't use periods or internal spaces. And here is a pretty good list of them. Okay, geographical areas. We use all capital letters without periods or internal spaces for the abbreviations of geographical areas, two-letter state abbreviations, and Canadian province abbreviations. So we don't put any periods between USA or UK or any of those. Okay, we use periods to punctuate numerals. Speaking of the decimal point, we separate dollars and cents here. So we really are not calling it a period, a decimal point. Notice if it's even money, no cents, we don't put 0.00. Okay, we use a period to mark decimal fractions. So here we have a 48.9. And okay, that was our periods. Now we're going to talk about question marks. Question marks are pretty easy. We don't use them for too many things. We use them at the end of a direct question. Is this the order for Lamson Limited? So we put a question mark because we're making a direct question. We punctuate a question added to a statement. The meeting is at 9:30 a.m., isn't it? So we've put a question after the statement. Here's a statement. The meeting is at 9:30 a.m. And then we put our question at the end and we use a question mark. Questions, in the book they also add to indicate doubt. They don't discuss it on this PowerPoint, but we use a question mark within parentheses to indicate a degree of doubt. So if you look on page 345 in your book, it shows a couple of examples of that. You don't see it very often, though, in that form. Okay, the exclamation point. We use it to express strong emotion. What a fantastic view! Stop! Okay, so it's a strong emotion. We want to use them very sparingly in business writing. Matter of fact, if I go back one, that looks pretty bad if you put a bunch of exclamation points all together like that. So we just want to use them very sparingly when writing business messages. Okay, cut out all the exclamation points. An exclamation point is like laughing at your own joke. That's quite a funny quote there. Okay, so which of the following pairs is correctly punctuated? Our team leader wanted to know whether you sent the report. Our team leader wanted to know whether you sent the report. Well, it's not really a question, so I would say B is correct. Would you please answer all emails within 24 hours? Or would you please, with the period or the question mark? Well, is this a polite request? If it is, then A is the correct answer. Okay, of these three, let's see, Dr. Spicer says she would be here before 4 p.m. It's probably not the first one because we usually don't put another period at the end. I don't think it's the second one because we don't capitalize it like that. So I'm saying it's going to be C. Okay, we heard that IBM is hiring PhDs for its research program. Do we put all those periods in or not? I'm going to say it's A, because remember when we have all capital letters, we don't put periods between them or spaces. And we don't do it for titles either. Okay, that CEO who is from the UK is most interested in HDTV. Well, like I said before, we know that we don't put periods between these and spaces between them, so it has to be B. Uh-oh, I said the wrong one, didn't I? I said the one I didn't mean. Shame on me. Okay. Tyler wondered whether he should call, which should send or email or call. Um, is he wondering? Is he asking a question really? I don't think he's asking a question, so I think it's going to be B. Okay, and then Mr. Milburn didn't call, did he? Or Mr. Milburn didn't call, did he? Do we want that comma there or not? Yes, I think we do, because we have an independent clause here. Mr. Milburn didn't call. Then we have our comma, and then didn't he? Okay, yes, we're selling all flat screen TVs at rock bottom prices. Do we want to put periods between the TVs? Do we want an exclamation point there? I'd say we want number A there because yes, we do. Yes, this is exciting. And then we do not put periods between TVs because that's an all capital abbreviation. Okay, I'm going to move on to level 2 in the next video. So this is the end of part 1.